Right, today's energy I'm hearing is to look into why your ex was never happy. Okay, I feel that you have spent either months or possibly years trying to work out, did you do enough? Did you understand them enough? Did you support them enough? You know, what was it? Was it you? This is what I feel you've been thinking. But I'm hearing that their inability to be happy wasn't your responsibility. And I feel Spirit's coming through to give you a message today, a very precise message. Okay, so I'm going to go into their energy and see what was going on with them. I feel that it didn't matter what they had or even what they achieved. They were never happy. They always wanted maybe another relationship, another job. Were they restless, just restless? Were they toxic? Or was there something in their background that had happened to them in the past that caused them to never really settle? Okay, I feel with you they had everything, all right, and I do feel some regret on their part. So we're going to go into that today. By the end of the reading, we'll know why, okay, because I feel it's a very important message for you today, because you spent a lot of time wondering. So we're going to try and clear that up today. So let's give these a shuffle. While I'm shuffling though, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, all your support. It really means the world to me. Thank you so much. And your comments, I do read all your comments and I send you so much love if you're going through a tough time at the moment. If you'd like a reading, just click on the title of the video, links below in the description box. That'll take you to the website. All the readings are on the website, and also check out the $1 reading, which is up there for a short time at the moment. Okay, let's get into this. It's a strong message, you know. I feel that the Spirit is saying you need to give someone this message today, Keeley. Right, let's have a look. Those two flew out. Let's have a look. Tarot, their energy. Whoa, gosh, that is just so interesting. That's actually shocked me in some ways, and I'm not always shocked these days. They've come out as the Knight of Swords. Okay, and the Ten of Cups in reverse. This is so clear. So the Knight of Swords is them, it's their energy. The Knight of Swords is the most restless, impulsive, no plan court card. Okay, your ex could be an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, not just the Sun sign. Whoa, this is why this message has come through. That's why I knew it was important today. They just jump in. They are continually chasing novelty. The Knight of Swords energy is someone who will have an idea, they will jump in and they have no plan, okay? They just don't have a plan. It's almost like the child in the sweet shop energy, you know, when they're, oh, that's nice, oh, I'll have that, I'll have that, I'll have that, okay? They are extremely impulsive. Their behaviour to outsiders can seem quite rash. Now, this energy can be beautiful in some ways. They are quite often self-starters. They will just see through problems and get right to the core of it, okay? Quite often these people will be self-employed because they're not the sort to take orders from employers or sit in meetings. They have literally gone from A to Z before a lot of people have even got to D or E. That is their energy, okay? Now, the flip side of this is they always felt they were missing out. Okay, the Knight of Swords in the excess is someone who's always thinking they've missed an opportunity, or this hasn't happened and I want this and I want that. They can completely be out of control. Okay, completely out of control, almost, you know, it can indicate in its excess like mania, okay, where somebody gets up one morning and they're just completely manic. Then also it can mean they're extremely hurtful and spiteful, and they will have no qualms, absolutely zero qualms about leaving one life behind on a Tuesday and starting something else on a Wednesday, okay? Now, the reason I feel that part of the reason that the way they are is the Ten of Cups in reverse. Now, this tells me that they could have come from a dysfunctional family, or their childhood was not settled. Okay, so comparing their childhood to maybe their peer group, they could have moved around a lot. Their parents could have divorced. There could have been a lot of animosity, okay? But also the Ten of Cups in this energy can tell me that they were always living in my favourite word, la la land. You know, because the Ten of Cups is a stage card. It can mean it's just fate, that it's just, you know, someone dreaming of the perfect relationship, the perfect house, the white picket fence, 2.4 children, you know, that sort of energy. That's an analogy I'm giving, and I feel that's what they were always aiming for. But they were so stupid, and I feel they know that, and I'm going to in a few minutes have a look at them deeper, what they would say to you. They were so stupid, they had it all along with you. I feel deep down they were scared, okay? I feel this is someone in an adult's body whose emotional growth had been stunted at some point, and they were scared, okay? And it's almost as if when there was peace, and there was peace with you, there was stability with you, there was love with you, they would start thinking there was something wrong and there was something missing and they needed more, okay? Whether this be a new relationship, etc., etc. They could even have dopamine deficiency. I've heard that. I'm going to throw it in there. So it means, you know, that is no fault of anybody's. It just means, you know, if you don't have enough dopamine, you are constantly sometimes chasing novelty, okay, just more excitement. But this is Ten of Cups for me that I'm really homing in on with their personality, that they just always never felt secure and they never felt stable. And I feel with you, it was everything they had ever dreamt of, but coupled with their childhood and their personality, it's almost like I can hear that song. Oh, leave me a comment. Tell me if I've got it right. Wishing well. One foot in the well. Free. I think it's free. Yeah, I can hear it. You know, you're only satisfied when you've got one foot in the wishing well. Like, but you know deep down that this person is a good person. Is a good person, okay? But again, that is the message. Their inability to be happy is not your responsibility. They don't seem to be happy. It's almost like they're self-destructive. They've got a, you know, everything's going well, all right? They've got what they've dreamt of, which was you, your home, whatever you had together, and then they just hit the button and it all goes up like just like a missile, really. And I do feel this message is for you today, because deep down you know this person loved you. I don't feel this is I don't think they are a particularly toxic, I don't think they mean it. There are some people who they're just wired to get a kick out of destroying other people, okay? And you can tell them, till, as we say in the UK, the cows come home, but they haven't got the capacity. They're just you know, you might as well, you know, chuck yourself up against the wall trying to get through to someone like that. They never will. But this person, deep down, you know they're a good person, okay? You know they're a good person. Let me just see what they'd say to you, and then I'm going to get another deck out. I just feel there's some regret here. I think they are finding out now. Chemistry. I've never felt a passion or a love like I felt for you. Okay. Sabotage. Whoa. I love it when the cards do this. It's just a clarification for me and for you. They sabotaged it. That's what we've been talking about. They push that button. Up it goes. I mess up the good things in my life. They're feeling regret. Okay. I am really happy for you today that whatever you choose to do with this information, I will see if they're going to come back, that they are now realising they're halfway there. If they realise that they have a personality type, however it got there, you know, we've all had things in life, but it takes the actual person to go within and say, you know what, I've got a bit of a pattern here. What's going on? And they're looking at that now. So you and them, if this is what you wanted, you're halfway there. Okay, you're halfway there. Shadow side, you've realised you have made me realise my flaws. Right, what do you think your flaws are? Let me just get this deck out. What do you think your flaws are? What do they think their flaws are? Yeah, that they like to be in control of everything, that they can be very rigid. Okay, if they're not in control, they push the button. Okay, but I feel that they also regret listening to other people's opinions or being easily led. Okay, they can have an energy of somebody. I do feel they've got like an entrepreneurial self-starter or maybe freelancer type energy. I feel they're quite a free bird, but they do regret being easily led. Okay, and they regret the bottom of the deck. They regret this, the Fool. The Fool is someone who just jumps off the edge of the cliff without a plan. Now, in the right situation, this is brilliant. It's a new beginning. You're not overthinking it. You're just like, you know what, I'm going for it. And it's a beautiful energy. But in this energy today, as I know you'll get it, this means someone who's just bloody reckless. And they will literally just jump off the edge of that cliff without a plan or a parachute. So they do recognise that in themselves now, okay? Yes, and also the Four of Cups. They realise they pushed away the best thing they ever had with you. Everything they ever wanted was right in front of their eyeballs with you. Everything. The love, the stability, the you know, the physical stuff, all of it. All of it was there. Okay? And instead of looking at what they got, they focused on what they hadn't got, or they sabotaged the whole thing because they got frightened. You could have been with this person for a few years. You could have been married to them. But because they hadn't addressed this emptiness inside and this constant thrill seeking, whether it be a new relationship, job, house, country, whatever they were doing, nothing was ever going to change with them. Because it just wouldn't. But it is now. I feel it is now, okay? Let me see what else I'd like to say to you. I just want to dig that deck out as well and just see if they've got any other issues within their energy. I hope that you can forgive me one day. Yeah, they'd like you back. They would like you back. I hid who I really am from you. Yeah, they hid all of this. They hid the fact that they are deep down a scared child. That little child in them. at some point in their life didn't feel safe, didn't feel secure, wasn't validated, didn't get the love that they needed, and they've hid that. But they're working on it now. So whether they've gone into, because I saw the Hierophant card, whether they've actually gone into counselling, or they could have, if not counselling, maybe if they go to church or something, or they've got a good friend who's quite good with pastoral care. I feel they're talking to somebody about this. If it's not an out-and-out therapist, it's somebody who is very level, but is helping them understand the consequences of their decisions. Okay, let's just a couple of these. Just dip deep into their energy, please, Spirit. What issues have... Oh, flew out. Oh my gosh. They say yes when they meant hell no. They're impulsive. Yeah. They'll be back. This person will be back. They know that they have betrayed themselves. They do, they're easily led, you know, says yes when you meant hell no. Well, that's what we've been saying. They don't think. They don't think. Let's just have one more. One more, please. Wow. Does the number 5 mean anything to you? 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 years? There's 5, but this card, I don't know if you can see that picture. Okay, but what it's saying to me is they just called it a phase. They thought at the time they were doing the right thing, but they've realised now it was just escapism and self-deception. Okay? Like 5 years, there's a number 5, okay, maybe it's a birthday, but when they just literally burnt the whole life down with you, okay, but now they're looking at it and realising that they burnt down the best thing they ever had, and oops, yeah, threw it away, and they deceived themselves. They've deceived themselves. Yeah, you see, what they'd like to say to you as well, instead of facing this, their emotions, they just literally they buried their emotions so deep. But then, instead of dealing with them, the lid comes off, the whole thing blows up, like we've said, and then they're here, there and everywhere. Okay? This person still loves you. This person still loves you. Let me just have a look at this quickly. What's the best possible outcome at the moment for this person? Right, okay. Yeah, they want to win you back. Okay. They're going to, in the very, very near future, they're going to come back in. I've got the Judgment card at the bottom of the deck. So they're going to want an opportunity to know if this is this the end of the road? Now, they are expecting you to start with not to back down, and they understand this, and I feel that they're going to make an effort to have some conversation with you, but they will understand that you will want to take your time. Okay, but whatever happens here, the 6 of Wands is in the outcome, so you are going to be successful. If this is what you want, yeah, it's a win. You know, 6 of Wands, generality, it means you win. Okay? You might decide you don't want this, but whatever happens within your energy, you are going to have the success, the support, and the happiness that you desire. This ex of yours will, with Judgment, come back in. They will want to chat to you. You know, have we run out of tarmac? This is basically, but they do see you being very protective of your energy, quite rightly so, because as much as you can love someone, sometimes the trauma they leave you with, because they haven't dealt with their trauma, you just have to start looking after number 1. As I always say, you're on that pedestal, but I see you on that pedestal. You're the one up there being supported, okay? Yeah, Six of Cups, I just split the deck. They will be back. They will definitely be back. And they're going to open up a lot more. Okay, so I will leave that with you. I don't think that your ex is toxic. I think they're just, I don't know how old they are, but sometimes depending how old you are and when you were born, but definitely I know with sort of like Gen X generation, it wasn't really, you know, the done thing. I don't know, we didn't really voice our emotions much or stuff, and I feel this person probably could be from a generation where it wasn't as, you just didn't, you know. I think families and parenting, I think those of you who are Gen X, let me know. But it was quite a different ball. Yeah, quite a different ball game. But you do you. You're on that pedestal. You're in the Six of Wands energy, okay? You're the best. Trust your angels. Whoever, whether it's angels, spirit guides, whatever you feel is true for you, okay? No one has the right answers. Only you do. Always remember that as well. But the message is, let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true. Trust that there is a perfect plan. This is so true. You know, just go to the end of what you want. Honestly, you won't always see how you're going to get there. And it's only when you look back, you think, gosh, wasn't that strange? Or wow, that happened. If that hadn't happened, then I wouldn't be here now. Okay, but get very clear on what you want. That's an aside message for you today. It's almost over. Your current challenges will soon be resolved. That's the Six of Wands energy as well. You are going to succeed. There's something you're going to be successful with, and you will be able to look to the future with a smile. Okay, just remember, you're the best, you're important, you matter. Your traits, your quirks, all of it, you are just absolutely wonderful, just the way you are. You don't have to change, just be you. And remember, circumstances don't matter. All that matters is you realise that you are the most important thing you should be worrying about. Okay, I love you, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.